So this is the Manteuffel. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's the tier
Yeah,
9.
Manteuffel.
It's the tier 9 of the new hotness, the German large cruiser line. Now, I haven't played it myself. I am a tester, but I obviously can't talk about my experiences in testing the boat. But she does have the ability, these whole cruisers have the ability to manually fire secondaries. So you fire your primaries, you can switch to secondaries, and then you can manually shoot something with secondaries. That allows for increased range and obviously increased precision on what you're shooting in general. There's a couple of things that some people I've seen complain about. For example, the different caliber guns having a different impact on ballistics, so it's harder to properly lead the target, especially at longer ranges. Also keep in mind when you're in manual mode, the secondaries on the other side of your boat don't fire. So you have to really make that decision. When do you want to use your secondaries? They have battleship burn duration. So that hurts if you're set on fire for a long period of time. They do have torpedoes. Let's see. Your torpedo range is 9.5 kilometer. And so that's nice. At least it's not like the 6 kilometer that the German heavy cruisers get. Am I missing anything? Do you get 1/4 HE pen? You
It comes with an apple strudel.
And the interesting thing that I find is that they actually have the highest caliber of any tech tree cruiser. At 350 millimeters, the next largest is the Cherbourg and the Marseille at 330.
So the main battery is not something to turn your nose up either. Okay.
Oh no.
So that's good. Probably pays for it a little bit in armor scheme and speed, I would imagine then. 34 knots, yeah, so it's a bit on the slow side. Terrible rudder shift. 13.64 seconds of rudder shift, that's ouch. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I run rudder shift. I get that down to 10.9.
So my rule of thumb when I'm looking at maneuverability and rudder shift, battleships I want under 15 seconds, cruisers I want under 10 seconds, destroyers I want under 5. So at 13 seconds, I would absolutely, they're tough to kill? Okay, I would absolutely put, at the very least, the steering gears mod 1 on. That gets it down to 10.91 seconds. That's still not even good enough, but now you've got both concealment on, so what's your concealment going to be? 11.73 is pretty sexy. Okay, okay. All right,
yeah,
so... What?
And with these, at least with the Manteuffel, when you actually manually take control of your secondaries, they reach out to 13K.
Right, you gain range. So, Jackal, if you're experimenting with rudder, one other consideration is I'd say you ask yourself how many times your concealment has saved your bacon. The only reason I say that is because you could also do steering gears here. I don't know that I recommend double rudder, but if you do steering gears, your maneuverability now gets to 6.5 seconds. But what I would do is, if you keep your propulsion, hey Vimpehor, happy Friday. If you keep your propulsion, that's 8 seconds that steering gears mod 2 gives you. So that is kind of sexy, especially because you're not taking last stand. Yeah, I might look to this because this helps repair your rudder quickly too if your rudder goes out. Yeah. Something to consider.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they kind of do have a bit of a glacial traverse.
Okay.
So
it's 30 seconds base. It's actually not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Let's get into the build then. So you have nothing in slot 1. You might want something in slot 1. Let's see. These are okay. 10-second action time, and you only have 5 charges. So you'd probably want to go main armaments mod or auxiliary. One of these two, obviously, would help.
I would go with Ox mod.
Okay.
Let's see here. What do I have? Yeah, I have Oxmod on there.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it really depends. You know, this isn't so much for your turrets as it is for your torpedoes, and this is obviously for your secondaries. And the second one, you went with damage control. I might go with engine room protection, especially since you don't have last stand. I would probably go engine room protection there. Go ahead, SAT.
60-second fires, so damage control is not bad.
True. Although that 5% to the risk is quite negligible, frankly. But yeah, okay. Secondary range is fine. We just had the discussion about propulsion, then you did auxiliary mod, because that why wouldn't you lean into what this cruiser's specialty, right? You've got Luyens as your captain. As a reminder, Luyens gets a bonus to secondary reload time after 100 secondary shell hits. And then also after 140 main battery shells. Now, with this ship, that's probably going to be like the end of the battle, but you do get a bonus to main battery reload. And if you spot 3 ships, you get a nice little small heal, which can come in very handy. Okay.
Oh, that heal does help sometimes.
Yep. And you've got the buff to grease the gear skill, and gunfeeder makes sense. Demo expert, I don't know about that. Pack a punch, adrenaline rush superintendent, concealment expert, and top grade gunner. Okay. So top grade gunner makes perfect sense because you're buffing your secondaries. This is also, I suppose, to buff your secondaries. Okay. I would probably...
then.
Yeah, 3-way tie. That's fine. I would probably look to find a way, if possible, to get survivability expert, but I think the only way to do that is to drop your concealment, and I don't know that that's a good idea either.
No, this build is what I would recommend as well.
Okay.
You don't have points for anything else.
Right. Priority target would be nice, like for me, but if you don't care about that as much and you want the 1% fires chance, that's fine. That's the only thing I would personally do differently, is I would go priority target. Okay. For flags, you've got ship HP, fire and flood fire reduction, heal boosting, speed, secondaries, and consumables. Fine. I don't think you're really missing out on anything here. IFHE, no. No, you can't
God,
take...
You already pen all the important thresholds, so IFHE is actually detrimental.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know that's just a joke.
The smallest caliber of the secondary batteries is 128.
Yep.
It's not 105s.
Right, exactly. 105 is where you would want the IFHE to get over the 32 millimeter hump.
Yeah.
Ironically enough, you pen 110 millimeters with your main battery with IFHE, so yay. But yeah, I wouldn't bother. Okay, field viewer off. Let's get to the replay. You think you auto-mounted signals don't really need them in asymmetrical, but honestly, I think you need them in asymmetrical. Asymmetrical is much more important, in my opinion, to run flags on. So, yeah. Okay. Well, the game hath started. Let's look at the setup here. So, okay, you're the only tier 9, and it's 8s. And this is asymmetric, so there's a whole lot of lower tier bots to deal with. So that's fine. Good practice for you. Any player, honestly, you're trying to learn the ship, take it into PvE. You want them to make this mode permanent. It's a good mode. The only problem with this mode, B Street, is it further dilutes the random battle, which is kind of their core game mode. And so I think that they're trying to find a way to have a PvE something, and having it rotate through. So, World War II ops just finished, this came on. And I think that if you had this mode, as well as World War II ops, as well as regular ops, for example, you just wouldn't have as many people playing all 3 of those modes, which has an impact for matchmaking, the time that you're waiting to get into battle, and frankly, you get fewer. If you had this with all the others, you'd have more kind of queue dumps where you just got weird matchmaking. You're like, why the heck did this come up? So that's how I'd look at it. Hey, Terminator. Running in the background, and you were gifted a sub. Isn't that awesome, dude? Now you have ad previewing. Okay, I need to look at the poll results. So Libertad and Yamato were tied for last place. Sorry there, Taz. So
no worries.
we have the Colombo game, we have the Ashitaka game, and then we have the Encounter game. Those will move into the next round of voting after we finish the Manteuffel game. Hey, what's up, Terry Mark?
Without
AP.
having seen it, Zath, I know you would put this stupid, severe asymmetric game I just played in the top 5. One of the worst experiences I've had in this game in a while.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm not a...
No offense. It's 3 minutes in a game. He hasn't killed anything, and he's only at 6,000 damage. Like, what the hell?
He didn't have HE in the barrels.
Reported
I mean,
48K.
you know, we joke about this, but to be quite honest, HE would have been far better to have at the start because you know the destroyers are just going to YOLO charge you because it's, you know, it's asymmetric and that's what they do. So,
Yep.
I think you'd be better served with HE in the barrels, even now. And remember, you took the gunfeeder skill, so why aren't you using it? Also, slow down. You are like trying to get yourself killed. Terra's Mark won. Congrats, Terra's Mark.
Why not have AP for the Rook?
Yeah, he's got AP in the barrels, so he could do that. Oh, there's your heal.
Also, one thing that I actually really love about at least the 9 and 10 of this line.
I would have shot the
rear
Uganda.
turret,
It's 360.
It's a 360 turret.
Yep.
Yeah, I could have overmatched Uganda as well.
Uganda was a better pick. Also, you haven't used your secondaries at all, like manually. Why not?
He hasn't played enough to unlock that feature. It's a
They're right there.
super premium.
No, they're right there, number 4.
Ah, there you go. Now you're doing it.
When you watch these shells come out and you can see that they're all different calibers, this is the part I was talking about a little while ago.
Yeah.
It's like, it's hard to accurately fire ships or guns that are all firing at different angles and different rates of fire. It's kind of wonky.
Yeah.
One thing I really dislike is this, where you get off your secondary, like you pull out of the secondary zoom camera, and you're just right there, right behind your secondary batteries. So you're like, okay, what the hell? Why can't I see everything?
It's not as bad as when you would use the airdrop, and then you'd come out of that, and you'd be stuck on your freaking stovepipe exhaust somewhere. But it is annoying, yeah.
Yeah. I agree with you there. The ASW is annoying. You haven't been using your main batteries much, and remember, when they're reloaded, use them, and then go back to secondaries, right?
Yeah, that's how you maximize your DPS.
Yeah. You have issues manually controlling secondaries. They don't like to fire. Okay. They're firing just fine now, it looked like.
I see you took a page out of that Manteuffels playbook when Chase was shooting at it.
Right. Just sit broadside and he'll overpen. Trust. You didn't realize that your whole team went to your cap.
That's good.
Yeah. That's right.
The advantage I have for this line is that I just put my Schroeder captain in it. I was like, oh, look at that, perfect.
Well, yeah, sure, why not? And right now, during early access, they are considered premium boats, so you can rotate captains pretty easily. Sure.
Yeah, to kind of get up to 200 and I think I'm sitting at 263 XP or KXP. 267K. I just put Luchins on.
Yeah, so
Too
we're talking
high
about
with that?
using Luchins. Yeah.
Yeah. Too high for that shot, by the way.
I would have also waited for him
And-
to be angled, but whatever.
Hmm.
And then once I got to that amount, I just put my Lucians back on my Schlieffen, so that way I can just wait till they get off early access.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I actually have my Lutyens on the Ruprecht, I think. Mainly because for ranked battles, but now with Valpo out, I'm just gonna spam that instead. So maybe I'll put Lutyens back on Schlieffen at some point. I don't play a lot of tier 10.
I wanted to put it on Ruprecht, but because I have Palmer in, I'm just like, man, it's. I mean, obviously Ruprecht's better, but it's like I'll just leave it on Schlieffen, and instead of having to like retrain or whatever.
Right, right. My thing is I rarely play 10s. I usually play ranked battles, so, you know, I want him to be on whatever I can, you know, use in ranked. Also, forget the main guns there. I would have just secondaried him to death.
Yeah, your secondaries naturally aim at the midsection belt.
Right.
If you took manual control and shot at the bow, you would have killed him instantly.
Bingo.
Mm-hmm.
Greedy? Yeah, but I mean, the other thing though is, you know, he could have gotten another salvo on you or whatever, so I just wouldn't have... I wouldn't have, you know, given the enemy the
We're an
opportunity to do more
asymmetrical.
damage.
There's no such thing as being greedy.
Yeah, you're an asymmetrical because you're greedy. Everybody is. Hey, look, there's a sub too.
Very much more playable because you don't lose your torpedoes instantly.
That's one of the reasons that I actually stopped playing that line. Is just it's how frustrating it is to, you know, constantly lose your torpedoes. And you still can lose them. It's just that they're taken out for a period of time now instead of permanently. Nice
Roughly
kill on
5
Uganda.
seconds. Although practically speaking, I don't think the module destruction is holding it back so much. It's really just you're putting a full secondary ship into a randoms battle where everyone kites.
Yeah, and also with Schlieffen, some of the secondary angles just really suck.
Yes.
Because those
Shoot
rear...
Sarah off.
That's what I've been fixing to say when I had a moment. You should absolutely be pointing your ship at the destroyer and your guns at the Seraph. Main
Kill
guns.
the
Come on, he's
CV.
broadside to you. He's right there. There you go.
Yes, destroy the CV. He deserves it more than the poor little destroyer.
And the destroyer's not spotted anyway, so it's like you're just wasting your time trying to hunt something that's not spotted. Get the easy kill. There you go. Thank you. And now back to our story. Oh, never mind. Game over. GG's. See, I gotta put, here we go. I gotta put Lord Jackal's
and-
replay up.
Like, even with that buff Sleefen got, you still have to deal with Libertad just being better.
Exactly. Which is another reason why I don't play, you know, Sleefen as much anymore anyway. Why not just have better both?
The rear four of Schlieffen's 150s, you have to show so much broadside to get them on target. Whereas Libertad, you can be pretty angled, and all of your 9-inchers are firing on your target.
Yeah, Falcon, I'm glad that you found this helpful. I mean, to be quite honest, it helped me too because I haven't played the ships since they're, you know, released into early access. But I think we kind of highlight some of the troubles. This is your first replay in there. Yep, there you go. But it highlights that the struggles between, okay, I've got manual secondaries now, great, but I also have torpedoes. I also have to have guns, and there's just you really have to be able to cycle through all of those to maximize your efficiency and your damage. So
I tend to just kind of ignore the torpedoes unless like really close, point blank.
See, I would luck chuck them if something's close and could possibly hit my torps. Just fire them and forget about them, and then later be like, "Oh, hey, my torps did something."
Your angle's not very good though. It's odd for a German ship, but your torp angles are pretty bad.
Yeah. Yeah, Blue Falk. Yeah, they are pretty much just FU torps.
You can
Like-
you can just play the ship only using the main guns and have an AI use secondaries as normal.
Yeah.
The manual part does come into play sometimes, but I find that it's probably not very useful for most fights.
And I
Yeah.
do like how you highlighted that you can target specific parts of the ship with your secondaries, which is really
Yep.
huge.
Mhm.
Against
Yeah.
carriers, that means that you can target the bow or stern armor, right? Or maybe the superstructure instead of just the flat flight deck and they just keep shattering. So,
Yeah.
you know, there's definitely some benefit to that.
Yeah,
Yep,
like
you're
when I've sailed Manteuffel, I would I'd be shooting, kind of center mass, get the fires, swap to bow or stern, try to
Mhm.
set fires there.
Mhm.
Since you don't need IFHE to pen,
Right.
you still get that extra fire chance
Right.
that you would lose if you took IFHE.
Falcon, no, I don't consider this a meme build at all. It's absolutely go for this whole secondary stuff. I mean, I already went through the screens, but main battery damage was 75,000. Secondary battery was 90,000. Torpedoes was 60,000. So
This is the build I'd recommend in randoms as well.
yeah, so
What
you
was ramming damage?
use all the tools at your at your disposal. You had 9
Mhm.
fires that most of those were started by secondaries. So absolutely go for I would go for a full secondary build on this. Otherwise, what's the point of even playing it, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the highlight of this line are those secondaries.
Mm-hmm.
You want to buff the secondaries.
Right. Right. So
The
all right.
secondaries are even stronger than Sleefen. That's how good it is.
Yeah, because you have 128s. You have German 128s instead of
That's right.
German 105s.
Right. So you're not forced to take IFHE like you have to do on the Schlieffen. Granted, it's a
Yeah,
different point
and-
value, but still.
Yeah, and like
probably
with cruisers,
probably most
IFHE. Oh, sorry.
If we're comparing DPM, the cruisers actually out DPM their respective battleships at that tier. It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yep. So
Yeah, because battleship IFHE is 2 points. Cruiser is 4 points.
right.
Why
yeah.
is it 4 points?
Because balance. Either way, Jackal,
Oh,
thanks
so
for sending
like-
this one in.
Balance, comrade.
It's our first look at the ship, so this was a lot of fun. So appreciate you for doing that. Whoa, Falcon
Hey.
with the Falcon punch of gifted subs. All right, we're gonna exit out of this.